Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another video this week. This week we are talking about Red Osier Dogwood, how we plant and when we're going to plant and where to plant these cuttings. Now, these cuttings, aka red, gold, or deer candy, can be used extensively in the woods to add browse, to add a little bit of screening, and to really attract deer to specific areas. And we call it deer candy because deer absolutely love the soft bark. It actually tastes sweet, and it's a super great cutting to plant and to add browse to your areas. And so what we're going to be doing today is potting a 1 foot red osier cutting and a 2 foot red osier cutting, saying the differences between the two, giving advantages of using either or and disadvantages and which one would be easier in your guys' situation. And then come springtime, what we're going to talk about and show you guys is where we're planting on our property. I'll have some drone footage in throughout this video of the major area where we will be planting. Now, Red Osier Dogwood, it needs to have wet feet. It's not going to grow in super sandy soils where there's no moisture unless you're going to water this cutting. This cutting is commonly found in swamps, and so you're going to find high success if you're planting these in swampier areas. So in the drone footage here, we're going to have switchgrass, and inside the pockets of switchgrass is going to be Red Osier Dogwood and Dappled Willow and Hybrid Willow. And so as you can see from this drone footage here, that we're going to surround it with our silky willow hedge, and then inside we're going to line it with switchgrass, and then in pockets of that we're going to add our Red Osier Dogwood and Dappled Willow. And by doing this and adding this browse to this area, it's going to allow deer to come in here, bed down, and have browse in this area. And then they will move from this browse area and bedding pockets to our food plots. And then once they hit the food plots right before dark, then they will move to the ag fields or their destination areas. So in this video, we're going to show how to plant, when to plant, where to plant, and then come springtime, we're going to actually show you guys how we're planting on our property, and we are super excited. And so we'll see you guys back up at the shop. Alrighty, guys, I'm back up in the shop here. I have a 12-inch Red Osier and a 24-inch Red Osier. As you can see, the size comparison here, there's a lot more buds on a 24-inch Red Osier because it is such a long cutting compared to the 12-inch. So now a positive thing with the 12-inch cutting, it's smaller, easier to stick in the ground. There is one con, is that it doesn't get as deep as a 24-inch Red Osier. So if you need to hit lower moisture, because these do need to have wet feet, then you may have some issues in some drier conditions. The 24-inch Red Osier is tougher to get into the ground. You're going to need a rod of some sort to get deep into that ground, but it is able to hit lower moisture. The main fail with Red Osier is actually planting it too deep. Now, as you can see here in the video, that the buds are actually coming from the old limb area. And so sometimes people will stick it too deep in the ground and does not expose a bud. You need to have at least one bud exposed in order for your Red Osier to grow and self-propagate. Everything else below the soil is going to create roots, and then the buds above the soil will create your new limbs and your new shrub. So in comparison between the two, the 24-inch Red Osier is going to get deeper into the soil. It's going to hit more moisture and not dry out as easily as a 12-incher. A 12-inch Red Osier, much easier to get into the soil, and it is cheaper to plant, so you could overplant, especially in wet, marshy areas. Another major thing and another major fail is actually not getting it deep enough either, especially on a 12-incher, because in swampier areas where you may be planting, you need to move that grass off to the side in order to get this at least 8 inches into the ground and have that one bud exposed up here. So it should be about like this, where this is below the dirt and then this is above the dirt, and these are where your two buds are going to be forming. So if you guys are planting in swampier areas where the grass, dead grass, is overlaying the dirt, you need to clear that out. Make sure this thing gets at least 9 inches in the ground with one bud showing. That's going to really increase your success because you need to have good ground contact. You don't want a sloppy cutting. You want that thing firm in the dirt, and you're going to have a lot of success. Already in here, we got a cutting that we have been propagating in a bucket of water because I wanted to see the success rate, and this thing is doing really well. Pretty much every single bud has officially popped. We're just waiting on some roots at the moment here, but as you guys can see here, all these green new shoots coming out are deer candy because they love to browse on these new shoots. That's why you need to protect these at least for the first growing season to get this thing established. After the first or second growing season, you're not gonna have to worry about over browsing of deer because this thing's gonna have an expansive root base and it's going to be able to withstand that browse from those deer. So in the first growing season, you can expect 2 to 3 new shoots coming out, probably a foot and a half tall. That second growing season is going to be where you're going to see exponential growth, where you're going to have that cutting reach 5-6 feet tall, 3 or 4 branches, and it's going to create a lot of berries. So make sure you guys have these in your browse areas and in the browse pockets where you want deer to browse. So I hope this video helped when it comes to planting Red Osier Dogwood. Get your orders in now. We are selling out, especially in 2-footers right now. We are out of them. We're still in the process of harvesting more, but please place your order, especially on 12 inches, to get your order locked in for this spring. And hopefully you guys find a lot of success in planting this spring. Thanks guys for watching this week's video. A couple major takeaways from this video. One is to plant properly, good ground contact, and to plant in wet soil. Doing these 3 major things is going to increase your guys' success and to be able to attract more deer onto your property, create great browse/bedding pockets, and to have a great hunting season. So thanks for watching guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate if you liked and subscribed to our channel. And then come springtime, we're going to actually show you guys on our property our planting process and take you guys along on customers. I know we have a customer down south of us here that we're actually going to plant 500 2-footers. So that's going to be an awesome project to take you guys along, and we will see you guys